hear me now? Yeah, I think it's recording. I'm trying to figure out the camera issue though. If I remove this. Ah, I think maybe. Yeah, sorry, it's because I'm mumbling. That's probably why I'm a little quiet. I'm trying to get the uh, camera to work, and for some reason it's not working. Uh, yeah, I am not sure why it's doing that. Let's see. Sorry, everybody. Trying to get this to work, and for some reason it's not working. Let me see where it's NVIDIA broadcast. Hi, Katie. And Zlatan and Destiny are here. Sorry, everyone, for a little bit of technical issues for some reason. I do not know why this is not working. Yeah, it was an online session with technical difficulties. That's a good. Ooh, I think I see the camera. Very big, but it's there. Okay. Now, there you go. There you go. Okay. Looks like that worked. Okay. Hi. Hello. Sorry about that, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. Hi, Alektu, and Yana, and Katie. Um, I don't know if we lost anyone through these technical difficulties, but I hope not. Um, all right, so let's uh, let's get started. I'll give a small disclaimer before we start. Last few days have been extremely difficult due to world events, genocide taking place, and if you've been following the news, probably not mainstream news, but if you've been following the news, you know what I'm talking about. And so it's been very, very difficult for me. And so if I'm not particularly upbeat today, that is why. And I beg you to accept my apologies for being in a certain state of mind. So, with that being said, let's get started. And first of all, it's been a couple of months now, so it's been a long time. So hi, nice to see you all. Want to start by saying a happy or like a blessed Ramadan to the those who follow Ramadan for whether religious or solidarity reasons. Um, a blessed Lent as well to our Christian friends who are also fasting at the same time as the um, Muslim people for Ramadan. And also, it's a little early, maybe about a month away still, but happy Passover to our Jewish friends as well. Um, and I want to look back a bit at some of the events that took place since our last live stream, some of which have been some of the blog posts that we posted. But there was also something worth mentioning, which is International Women's Day. Happy, belated happy International Women's Day to everyone out there, whether you're a woman or not. I think that everyone deserves to celebrate that. There was also International GM's Day, and That was something that we actually also wrote a blog post about. This was from Yena, who's handling that. So if you have not seen that, check it out. And we did have a bit of a contest, um, and someone won a gift card. At the same time, well, not the same time, but we also had another event, which was Valentine's Day. We received a couple of really nice stories. So we posted our own kind of love story about tabletop RPGs, um, and how we came to, you know, to love the community and all of that. So you'll see some of the staff members of the Forge giving their own love note for tabletop RPGs. So that was how we celebrated Valentine's Day here at the Forge. And apart from that, we also had two great interviews with our stars of the galaxy, of the VTT galaxy, sorry. The first one is from Ren Flower, and the second one is David North. So if you have not checked those out yet, then I recommend you go and check out these incredible creators and the interviews that we did with them in the last month. All right. Let me see, quickly catching up on chat. All good, good. Oh, and Yana sent in the links. That's cool, thank you. And all right. Um, yeah, so make sure you keep an eye out on our announcements and social media if you want to be notified of future blog posts and contests and various events that the Forge runs. Um, and we'd love to see, a lot more participation from the community, especially because it's a fun way to connect, and you could win a prize. So why not, right? Um, so let's talk about some of the changes we did in the last couple of months. One of the important ones that you'll see is that we have updated um, uh, some of the Bazaar sorting algorithms. We have the featured algorithm. I think I mentioned that last time, but we also updated the recently updated sorting. Um, Now it features, so like the Bazaar will feature a richer variety of content. Um, because before we would showcase basically nothing but like the most commonly installed content, which usually are the systems, some of the dependency modules that you would see, and um, that wasn't particularly useful to some people, especially if you already have those installed. So now you'll have popular creators and content that will float to the top. You also have a new mix of older content and smaller creators and the like. So it's a more democratic way of sorting the the results of the bazaar, and gives you the chance of discovering a lot more useful content. Um, Also, with regards to the recently updated sorting algorithm, there was a bug that wasn't correctly using the update dates. So we did fix that. So now you'll see a better result there. Um, and hopefully that will let users find new content that they are interested in. So if you go to the bazaar, other than updates that you need to apply, you'll also be able to find new content. As you can see, once all of the updatable packages are listed, you don't really see any package that you already have installed. So if you go to the bazaar, you don't need to scroll pages and pages of content you already have installed before you find something new that might be interesting to you. So every time you go on the bazaar, you'll be able to see new content that's potentially of interest to you. So I'm really happy with seeing that. Um, Another announcement that I want to make was that we are yet again having another hiring phase. This time it's for a bit of different roles. So We're looking for a UI, UX expert who will help us with some of our UX work. Also, an executive assistant that would be based in Quebec, specifically for more of the Quebec-related admin stuff, um, as well as basically helping us with other um, administrative work. But because of the Quebec requirements, um, that's why we want someone who would basically speak French and be Quebec-based to better know the specific local rules and things like that. We are still looking for a second DevOps that we want to hire, and also a customer service agent. The role is probably going to be part-time for the customer service. I'm not entirely sure uh, how much time is going to be needed for that kind of role, but probably 20 to 30 hours a week would be my guess. Um, and someone who would potentially also be available on the weekends, because weekends is when most people are gaming, and that's where sometimes we can get users to be asking a lot of questions during those times. So if you're interested in applying, keep an eye out on our jobs page. Um, it currently says it's not currently hiring, but we'll be updating that very, very soon. So keep an eye out for that page and follow us on social media, and we'll announce once we go live for this new hiring phase of, so you get to see the description of the roles basically. All right. Um, Something else we've been working on, not yet ready to show for obvious reasons, but we've been working on integration with Foundry v13. It has been presenting us with some challenges, unfortunately, that we've been working very hard on. So it's not yet quite available, um, but also it's not yet stable. So we don't get into the habit of releasing um, testing versions of Foundry. But we hope that by the time the Foundry v13 stable is released, which I expect in probably a few weeks, considering that we're, I think, at testing 4 now, which was released, I think, yesterday or something like that. So I think we're getting close to a potential stable release of Foundry 13. Um, and so hopefully once that drops, we should be able to release it at the same time on the Forge. If you are curious a bit, let me just go to our adventure log, and I think it would be, yeah, under engineering. If you haven't read this from, yeah, 2 years ago, it talks about one of the big challenges we had in implementing V11 with regards to the level DB library and how we used Rave level, which is a Node.js module um, to allow us uh, to get V11 to work on the Forge in a way that was satisfactory for the users and for the user experience that we want. Um, And so this is one of the challenges we had for V11, and V13 is slightly on that same level, no pun intended, because Rave level doesn't work with the new version that Foundry 13 uses. So we've been adapting it and working on that. So it's basically a continuation of that work from 2 years ago. Um, so yeah, the issues are being resolved. And I expect that we'll have um, that available soon when V13 stable is released. Um, we also have a couple of um, interesting features that we want to show you today, which we we had hoped to actually have them available to you already, um, but we did push an update earlier today. You may have seen the announcements in the forums. Actually, let me just bring that up. I assume, yeah, this. we've actually reverted that update. So I don't know if Lorenziel is watching the live stream, but if Lorenziel is watching, can you please update that to notify that we have reverted this? We've pushed this update earlier this morning, and we've encountered some issues. Some of you may have noticed a small outage that we had that seems to be related to this update. So we'll be working on figuring out what exactly happened and then fixing it, and then we'll push the update potentially in the next few days. But one of the features I wanted to show is a new notification system. This new feature allows us to provide notification for important information on the site. So I'll show you how it works because we do have, let's just go to staging, which is where we have work in progress. Well, not work in progress, but rather we do some tests here before we push that to production. So you can see a little here, little update, a little notification. I can mark them as read. I can view all of my notifications. I can also click on notification. So here you see the update. I can open that. But I can also click on notification itself here to basically get to the link. And so this will be very, very useful for us to notify users of various things that they may want to hear about, whether it's, you know, server updates like this or um, promotional content or service announcements, things like, oh, we'll have a maintenance window in a month or a week or something like that. Some of the things that we basically use the announcement channel on Discord, we'll be able to provide that as well through this notification system to the users. It's also going to be really useful to send direct messages to Forge users through that system. That will allow us to notify users, for example, for if there's a billing error that they need to fix, or uh, if there's any kind of issue where we're trying to contact the user via email and they're not responding to the email, maybe because they had a typo or they changed emails but didn't update them on the website, things like that happens. Unfortunately, more often than I thought it would, but yeah, it does happen. So this would allow us to get that kind of direct communication with the users. But other than that, there are other features that we're also working on to go along with the notification system. Um, One of those is the ability for you to follow creators from the bazaar and being able to get notified when a new package drops from a creator that you love. So you'll be able to see that in your notification drawer. Same thing for potentially if you wish list a package on the bazaar. I know it's a feature that's been asked to be able to wish list, and it's something that we do have in mind. And we'll be working on that, but we wanted to have the notification jar first, because with the wish list, you'll be able to see, oh, this package that you wish listed is now on sale or things like that. So we'll be able to do those kinds of notifications as well to the user. So I think that's going to be very popular uh, feature, and I'm happy to finally see it completed. Let's see. Would be nice to in future opt in to get those notifications by email. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we'll add that to our list of things to look at. Um, if Destiny or Zlatan, I think, is in the live stream. He's our project manager. So yeah, Zlatan, if you can file an issue for that, so it's not getting forgotten. Okay, thanks, Destiny. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's what we've been working on. And another feature, which I think many of you will be very excited about, is that because it's a feature that's been asked quite often by users, and it's something we've been working on for a while and had multiple um, challenges to um, to go through. But now you can, for example, if you select some assets and like even um, let's say, whoops, um, I'll also select this folder, and you can have the download the selected assets button. So if I download, it gives you a warning that the asset sync tool is our preferred method for users, and it explains why. And so this is an important message to read. But if you don't really care and just want the assets, then you'd be able to just download that, and there you go. It downloads the assets as a zip file with your selection. I can actually open that. I think. I click. Yep, there you go. So yeah, it opens and yeah, just creates the uh, downloaded assets with the folder structure and everything. So this was in today's update. If we go back to the update, so let me see. Yeah, add a feature to allow downloading assets from the assets library. Um, and it has been reverted, unfortunately, but we should be able to push an update to that and bring it back very soon. Let me just check the chat here. Does the Forge offer any type of referral services, maybe for credits to be used for the annual service or marketplace? It's something we've looked at. It's something I wanted to do for a long, long time since the beginning. We just never got around to it. I think we are for the uh, short term, we'll be working on some improvements to the whole payment system, and I think that's potentially one of the features that we want to work on as well. So I think it's coming. We don't have that system in place right now, but hopefully it's coming soon. But don't take my word for it because I'm not 100% sure on what's exactly scoped for the next iteration of that work. Um, but yeah, we do have a coupon system that allows you to like enter a coupon when you're subscribing, and we wanted to use um, the same system to be able to have like a referral code that people can share. And yeah, let me see. Skillscribe, have a question pertaining to your account. I would recommend you ask the question in Discord or send an email. I don't think the live stream is the appropriate place for a account-specific question. Like two, that's really useful to download the assets. Katie also would like a referral system. And Gabe, thank you for the answer. Maybe just add a field in the subscribe section so you can get a referral info for a future date use. Actually, we do have that. It's like if someone goes on the website and they are basically having like referral equals something, and then they create their account, then whatever that value gets stored. But we don't really make use of it now. But I don't think that's the proper way of doing that because it's really just at the moments of creation of your account. Um, and it's not particularly practical either. Um, but yeah, we did have that at some point. I don't think we will be using that kind of system. But I think the best option is really so when you subscribe, you'd be entering a referral code here instead of a coupon code, or rather, you'd be allowed to either enter a coupon or a referral code, and then that would allow you to apply something to the user's subscription because I think referrals generally are better when it gives a credit to both the referral and the referee. This way, you'll be able to get better stuff that way. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, all right. Um, Next, improved UI when uninstalling packages and dependencies. This is another great feature that I'm really happy to see. Um, and I just want to show you really quickly how it works. Is that whenever you install a package, you'll be able to see a notification in the bottom corner here. that tells you what's happening with the install of the package. The server is a bit slow, so we'll leave it there for a second. Um, but yeah, it's basically pop up ghost notifications if you understand what that specifically means, but you'll see it in a second. And yeah, usually like the way it works right now is usually you just see a spinner indicating that the install is in progress, but you don't get to see exactly what is happening. Um, and especially if you're installing like a large package that can take a long time to install, it can be quite confusing to users. So let me just update this one. And you see here at the bottom, dice tray installation successful. Um, you see, so this is pretty cool. Let me see if I can do a marketplace. Uh, Let me see WFRP core. I think maybe not R. I don't remember the name. It Yeah, it's this one. Wasn't it WFRP? Yeah, WFRP4. I don't know why I didn't find it. So if I update this, yeah, okay, I guess I can't. Sorry, more technical issues. Um, but yeah, basically, if you're installing a premium package, you'd be able to see. Um, oh yeah, because I don't have it on this account. That makes sense. Um, you would see the progress of which step it's on. You'll have Oh, my camera is blocking the notification. Thank you for mentioning that. That's a very good point. I totally forgot about that. There you go. And now let's say I do an update here. So you see it now in the corner? Oh, also I noticed not the full window is visible here. And there you go. Thank you, Alornis. Yeah, so let's go back. Let's just do an update all from this side. And there you go. So you see the notifications here at the bottom. So you get if there's an error, and you get to see all of the notifications of all that's happening. And so basically that's how it works. So a lot less user confusion that we expect to see with this. You get to know better when um, there's an error, potentially knowing what the actual issue is. Um, See, like you're not authorized to install this, etc. But also, like I was talking about, if you have like a premium package that takes a long time to install, process, unzip, um, moving the files to the assets library, optimizing the database, all of those steps can take a fairly long time. So you'll be able to see that progress as well, and makes it easier and less confusing for users. All right. Um, so there you go. Improved UI when installing and uninstalling packages and dependencies. We now show a temporary toast during each package installation. This includes dependencies that get automatically installed. These will also be expanded and improved in the future to provide more information on the install progress. So yeah, that's one of the updates that I'm very happy to see um, coming to the Forge. Another thing that I think is really nice is that we changed the label from "Pay What You Want" into "Pay What You Can." I think that makes a lot more sense, and I think people will appreciate that small but important change. Um, and let me get back to my notes. Where was I? Mm, yeah, the downloading of the assets. Um, yeah, I think that's mostly it for the main changes that we've been working on. Um, yeah, I think. Yeah, I think you can expect to see those changes that were from today's update um, uh, pushed back in the next few days, maybe next week. Hopefully, it won't be too long, but we don't want to cause any disruption to services, obviously. So we'll be extra careful in investigating what happened today and if it was or not related to this update and all of that, just to make sure that we're giving proper service to the users. And then once that's fixed, then we'll be pushing the update. Let me just catch up quickly on the chat here. Yeah, camera blocking. That's nice quality of life update. Thank you. Was timer on those notifications 5 seconds? Probably 5 or 10 seconds. Not entirely sure. Uh, but I think it's long enough that it's not disrupting and it gives you enough time to read notification. If you did notice when there was an error, the error did like the notification did not go away. So it was just like the install in progress and then install successful that had that timeout. But when it was an error, it stayed there because um, yeah, like you may you don't want to miss when there's an error that happens, obviously. Uh, Sending alerts, notifications could also be good. Yeah, possibly. Um, I'm not entirely sure because you don't want to spam the notification jar either. Um, yeah. Gabe's asking, was the wording changed a psych or marketing thing? I think it's more of a it was a wording suggestion that I don't remember where that suggestion came from, but I think everyone loved it because I think it's more. Um, uh, I guess it is marketing a bit, but it's more like I want to say community, but I don't think that's the right word either. But basically, pay what you can. I think is more in line with um, the purpose of those kinds of payment systems of you, if you cannot pay then you don't pay, if you can't pay then you should be paying for the work of others, um, and like most people would normally like, oh, I don't want to pay for anything, but that's not really how the world works, because people are doing actual work and they are nice enough to provide it for people for free. When they're asking is if you can't pay, then you should be paying. That's just a matter of fairness. So I think that's why, personally, anyway, that's why I like the change in the wording there. It's more democratic, it's more egalitarian, and it's more fair to the creators, and it's more representative of that. Um, Other question. What about using new notification functionality, top right, to persist errors from Bazaar at least temporarily? Yeah, that's what Katie was just asking. Um, yeah, no, the error are persistence. You have to manually close them. Um, but yeah, the let's see if I can get one to fail. Um, I know there's a couple of packages that will fail for me specifically. So there you go. Um, and as you can see, they don't disappear um, until I close them manually. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I was a little too fast on that. But yeah, I think it's 5 second timeout for the other ones, like the successful ones. As you can see, the successful ones are disappearing here, and the errors aren't disappearing. I think, let me see if I have. Yeah, and if I have the mouse on notification, as you can see, it doesn't disappear. So basically, if you put your mouse on it because like you're reading it, it pauses that um, the disappearing act. That can be useful as well. And yeah, that's about it. Let me see. Yeah, hopefully that answers both Alarnis and Katie on the implementation of that, and hopefully that mitigates your worry. All right. I think we'll move to the next stage, which will be the Bazaar Showcase, which means I will give um, the floor to Destiny for him to showcase the Bazaar. Let me just give me a second here. And I need to switch to Discord scene. There you go. And then I need to. There you go. I think he is still muted. There's his camera. And yeah, I believe. Yes, this thing is on. All right. Before you start, let's talk about the giveaway. So as usual, we do a giveaway at the end of the Bazaar showcase. So um, it's hashtag Spring Hope today. So if you could post in the chat Spring Hope, and that should um, hmm, anyway, that should enter you into the giveaway. I'm trying to Destiny, did you set uh, the giveaway? Oh yeah, there you go. Spring Hope. There you go. That's what I wanted to do, just to post that. And yeah, okay. And okay, let me fix that. Let me fix that. Desktop audio. Yeah, it's not. And this should be headphones. Say something.
Hello.
Okay, cool. I believe it's working now. So yeah, as I was saying, hashtag Spring Hope, you'll be entered into the giveaway. At the end of the Bazaar Showcase, what we do is a random draw of one person who will get a $20 gift card that they can use towards their subscription or to buy packages from the Bazaar. So yeah, there you go. And now up to you, Destiny.
All right. Thank you. So today we're going to start off hot, and by that I mean in a hot spring. As you'll see here, we have the good hero Hippo Man, a favorite of past Bazaar showcases. Within a hot spring, I like hot springs are cool because sometimes your party needs a break, and it can be nice to narrate that break. Maybe they've just defeated a boss, they've spent a long campaign arc exploring a long dungeon, they have all this loot to spend, and now it's time to relax. And even though it's winter, it doesn't mean that they don't deserve a time to relax. And that's what these hot springs are for. You can enjoy these nice, steamy springs where you can see the snow might be blowing, but the heat is on for them. And then maybe you can have the goblins steal their clothing, and suddenly they have to run after the goblins in their swimwear. Because, as we all know, just because the players have chosen this time to relax doesn't mean that they get to relax.
I don't like that laugh.
Oh, I very much enjoy it. As you can see here, this package does come with a variety of different versions. I have chosen I have chosen this one, but there is others. For instance, and then we can go ahead and activate scene. Just drag it in and activate it, and we are good to go. And you can see here a nice little windy one here. I mean, not windy. A nice little nicer one here with less snow, and there's even more. So as you can, so there's just a bunch of options to choose from. And if you end up running this, I definitely encourage picking through and choosing the ones you like best. Yeah, there's even a hot spring one. Let's go see. I mean, a haunted one. Let's go see the haunted one real quick. Oh, that one looks nice and ominous. Maybe we can ambush the players with some ghosts instead. Where's the anime style divider wall in the springs? I will pass that feedback on to the creator. I'm sure they will be no, that's why you have the swimwear, right? You don't want to, you want to be clothed around your party members. Anyway, I love this. I love little fancy scenes like this. And it feels a lot more like a natural hot spring than it is one of those hot springs that's been built around with a fancy building and dividers and stuff. And I think that'll fit it in a lot better in a fantasy world. Not to say there weren't hot spring getaways in medieval settings, but I think you understand what I mean here. Best of all these map versions and all these pre-set up animated maps, only $5.99 by and this map set is by Bearworks. I freaking love Bearworks, and I definitely encourage checking out all of their content, but especially this map. Right. So that didn't work. This hot spring vacation didn't work. The players had to go retrieve their clothing from ghosts, from goblins, and then ghosts came by the other day, just like an old NES game, really. But hey, maybe they can go do the beach episode instead for the campaign and relax in the incoming summer. Well, that's when they find out the thieves have stolen their sunscreen, dooming them to a sunburn, and they have to go on a quest to retrieve it. This is where we can bring in the Beach Cave map by Angela Maps. I freaking love this water. It is so gorgeous and just a great way to show like the tide and the water pouring in. Maybe it's high tide and the players have come in here and the water is just pouring in and they have to move fast to steal their sunscreen back from whoever's here. Or maybe like this could be like a Robinson Crusoe type stuff where someone's been stranded for years and years and your party has come to rescue them. Right? Isn't it gorgeous? Like
Yeah,
this alone, if you don't find an excuse to run this specific part of the map, you've kind of wasted the map, honestly. It's so
yeah.
pretty.
I love the way that it just hits the sand. That that animation is just so smooth.
For sure. And you can see here there's just that nice bit of patchy sunlight at the front, and then it gets a little darker towards the back here. I've even played around with the lighting more to make it a little more dynamic. So you can see here there's even an animated fire, and there's footsteps that your players can investigate. There's more crates. Generally, you're going to have a good time. Yes, you do want to play volleyball there. Mental note: bring a monk during hot spring visits. Yep, that's the goal. I've actually ran a hot spring before for my campaign, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure we did have a monk. So maybe it's time to bring that back. I have plans. Anyway, just like with the hot springs, there is a variety of other different maps. For instance, there is a more plain version, which we can actually go to real quick. View scene. And you can, and there's even an entrance leading in where you can learn, where you can have your players start to enter and, well, see, and like you can kind of lead up with stuff. You can build a little mini session between this single package with like the entrance and then what it's like actually inside. Yeah, be careful playing volleyball with Yena. She will destroy you. Uh, anyway, like the other map package, this is super cheap, only $4.99 on the bazaar. That's cheaper than a lot of coffee these days, which is insane, but also really cheap for what you get. This art takes hours and hours to build. I know the creators work very hard on this stuff, and they sell it for such a low price with so many versions. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend Angela Maps. And then finally, we have the actual map where nothing happens. Now, something I like to do is whenever my players have started guessing that there will be conflict whenever I bring them onto a map, because I tend to run Theater of the Mind for a while, and then I will activate the battle map. And that started leaving them guessing that the moment I activate a map, there's going to be combat. So this is where you can really throw them off, because I think a lot of you running on Foundry will have come across the same issue, where they will be exploring along and you'll activate a map and they'll know conflict's about to begin. This is where you can throw them off by having nothing happen here whatsoever. Just a nice, pretty map with pre-set up walls and stuff. And maybe they're even camping in the middle of the island here at night so that they can be a little safer. Just a quick swim across so they get warning from splashing. And then you build up the tension, and nothing freaking happens. It's a nice, cute little map called Meadow Lake Isle. As you can see here, I've imported the autumn version, but there are other versions as well. For instance, we can have a haunted version if we want something a little more potentially violent. Ooh, look at that. That's a strong change. And while the map maker's already done a good job, let's make it even spookier by throwing in like some ambience with some fog. As you can tell, you can get pretty creative, and the creator for this package has quite a few scene versions, just like with the others. You can even throw a chest over here, and I'm sure everyone, when they first see this map, will be convinced this is a mimic.
And it is a mimic.
And it is a mimic. It's always a mimic.
It's
I
always a mimic.
I've told a million mimic stories, and I'm gonna keep creating a million mimic stories. My favorite was when I had an electrified kind of pin in one of my recent campaigns, like a kennel pin, and the players went inside there to open a chest, and of course the chest was a mimic, and it nearly killed them because in Pathfinder Second Edition, mimics are terrifying and they will destroy you.
Hmm. Mimics are
So yeah,
always terrifying, regardless of the system. 'Cause they
I'm getting a little
always, it's like a jump scare, you know?
it's always great when they're investigating and they open the chest and immediately the game pauses, right? You're not about to reveal a loot actor. You're not about to give them the money. Instead, the mimic pops up.
Yeah.
Ah,
Um,
juicy.
Gabe Gonzo has a good question. Does anyone that does these maps ever think to provide a high tide version, like the Springs and the Cave one?
That I've come across, not often. I think it's a matter of how hard it is to actually do that sort of thing because you've basically got to do you got to assume that the people will want different versions. Something I would do is reach out to the creators and see if they'll ever the redo the maps because I think that'd be a good idea, but it would mean they'd have to make effectively two very different versions. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Yeah, I
Now I
love
want to make a
this.
fridge mimic. My favorite art I've ever seen of a mimic is a Nintendo Switch mimic. Unfortunately, I never got to run that, but someday I'll run the Walmart campaign. Uh, anyway, back to the package I was showing. This map pack is only $5.99 on the Bazaar, and you get a bunch of different versions. So something I might even do is consider rotating the map image and then having different versions I throw at players and hope they forget when I run it again like a few years later.
Hmm.
Just small stuff like that. Now, recently, that would have been it for the Bazaar Showcase, but we do want to showcase free packages. And the one I'm going to be showcasing today is kind of near and dear to my heart. And that would be the Net Librum of Random Magical Effects, V2. Now, if you've ever gone online and if you've ever played D&D in general and you've had a wild magic sorcerer in your party, you're probably used to some shenanigans with that silly D100 table. I'm sure many of you have probably seen that wild magic sorcerer nearly or actually will TPK the party with the fireball that appears, right? Uh well, if you're like me and you've ran some very terrible fun campaigns, you might have looked up even further wild magic chaos. And you might have found a D10,000 table for wild magic. Well, that's this table. As you can see here, the creator has wonderfully recreated the entire thing within Foundry VTT. Now, because D10,000 is pretty big, they had to split up the tables, but the way it works is pretty simple. And they even have a journal explaining all of the table, everything about the table and how you might run it. And I think this is what makes it worth the most, which is free already, but it's just so cool. Like it gives ideas of how you can run it. And this is a system generic table, so you can run this between PF2E, you can run it between 5E. You might have to homebrew some mechanics on the fly, but it's super fun anyway. So let's go ahead and take this for a spin. Because maybe my players are in a wild magic region, they've cast some magic, and you want to risk ending the campaign.
Can I
Is that
can I
fun?
just
Not really.
say you probably meant take this for a roll, not for a spin.
Indeed. We've we've rolled 6,000 to 7,000 from what I've seen. For some reason, it didn't show up in chat. So let's go ahead and roll which number we do from here. So 6,101. So let's go ahead and import that table now. So from there, we will just go up to the tables and then do 6,101. And then we get to roll the piece de la resistance. Oh, geez, that's a dark one. Let's re-roll that.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about a GM. You're always free to re-roll it. Will the players know? Not if you hide the GM rules. The target is now standing atop the tallest mountain within 100 miles. So imagine your players are exploring a dungeon. They've just spent a great deal of effort to clear out the dungeon, and then they cast magic in the wild magic room. Suddenly, the sorcerer is now standing in a mountain like a good 60 or 70 miles away from the party. They might even be short of breath because suddenly it's cold and they're high up and it's hard to breathe. And that's very funny. Now, is it what we would recognize as traditionally good ways to run D&D these days? No. Does it make you a bad DM? A little bit, yeah. Is it as funny as handing out a deck of many things to your party? Yes. The thing is, sometimes you get to a point when you DM where you literally hand out the deck of many things to your players and they immediately resolve to never ever touch it ever again.
Yeah, I've
And you
seen
need to
that
create
happen a
your
few
own
times.
fun. This is what you need for those cases. And you
Mhm.
know what? All this hard effort, all this hard work preparing it, this was absolutely free. You can get it and install it absolutely free because the original creator, Orex, gives it away for free and gave permission for Blocka to recreate it in Foundry VTT. And we now have it on the Forge. So feel free to check it out. And I think that'll be it for my Bazaar showcase. Thank you so much, Caparetto. I always freaking love showing off his content.
All right. Thank you for showing that. Let me just fix my NVIDIA broadcast again. Yeah, for some reason it's huge. That's my camera. Let me see. I'll place it here, resize it, and we're back. Hey. All right. I'll be doing the giveaway draw. Just giving an extra minute for people who did not post hashtag SpringHope in the chat. We are very hopeful for the future. So if you all want to post SpringHope and enter the giveaway, and then I'll be doing the draw in a second here. And let me see. Okay, nobody is doing it, so I think we have everyone. Let me just show you the screen actually. And draw entrant. Lektu! Lectu is the winner today of the $20 gift card. All right. Thank you, Lectu, for participating. Thank you, everyone, actually, for participating. Congratulations. And Destiny, he'll send you that gift card. Um, and now let's go back to the Q&A scene. All right. Congratulations again, and thank you everyone for participating. And if you have not yet won a gift card, be sure to follow us and be here next time, and hopefully you'll win it at that point. All right. Anyone has any questions they want to ask? Now is the Q&A. No questions, apparently. Okay, I got so confused, Destiny. I thought you whispered a question to me and I was like, why would you even? And then I realized you were talking about the actual gift card to Lectu. Um, Thank you, Lectu. I appreciate it. Right. Well, I guess if there are no questions today, then that will end the live stream then. Um, so yeah, thank you everyone for being here and for following us and for giving us your time, your trust, and um, being fans of the Forge. Um, and I think Yana will be posting uh, our socials. Well, actually, I have a link tree. So I just posted a link tree. If you want to follow us on any of our socials, then please do so. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for participating, and I hope you all enjoyed the update and the features that we released and the ones that we're just about to release as well. And yeah, see you next time. In probably a bit more than a month because next month I'll be on vacation. So yeah, after that. All right. Thank you and take care, everyone. Bye bye.